Listen.
Today is Thursday, 7th of Safar 1445 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 24th of August 2023. I'm Khadija Nolamin Enliman with the news info. Minister of Works David Umahi says President Bola Tinubu will allocate funds for the construction of quality roads across the country. Umahi admitted that the significant issue encountered in road development is the construction cost. The former Ebonyi State Governor added that the president will give out the money. He, however, lamented that the cost of concrete is higher than asphalt. According to the Works Minister, the quality of bitumen available and being imported in Nigeria is not comparable to what was in place in 1950 and 1960. The minister, who was sworn in on Monday, swung into action on Wednesday with a promise to redesign the Lokoja-Ajokota road within 2 weeks. He said the rehabilitation of the road will commence immediately. Meanwhile, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has promised to redesign the Lokoja to Ajokota road within 2 weeks, saying that the rehabilitation of the road will commence immediately. Umahi stated this in Lokoja yesterday when he inspected the Abuja to Koton-Karfe Lokoja road and the Kanaja to Ajakuta road that had become a death trap to motorists since the 2022 flood disaster that destroyed some portion of federal roads in the state. The minister assured motorists and the people of the state that a flyover will be constructed on the section of the federal road at Koton-Karfe which was destroyed by flood. Umai also assured Nigerians that a permanent solution will apply to all federal roads across the country to ameliorate the suffering faced by citizens during rainy season. In his remarks, the governor, who thanked the minister for swinging into action shortly after his inauguration as a minister, expressed concern that since the flooding of 2022, the Lokoja to Ajokota road has remained a difficult terrain of trucks and cars coming from the south and southeast to pass the northern part of the country. The Chief of Air Staff (CAS) Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar says the Nigerian Air Force will soon take the delivery of 18 attack helicopters to boost its fleet of aircraft. He said that 12 attack helicopters will be supplied by the United States while another 6 helicopters will be provided by the Turkish government in September. He said the Air Force was currently putting measures in place to put an end to crashes of military aircraft in the country. He said the measures included the setting up of an air crash investigation board to detect the probable causes of the crash to mitigate future recurrence. Abubakar said the NAF will continue to intensify the deployment of its attack helicopters in clamping down on illegal refineries in the Niger Delta. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetukun, has promised to restore normalcy to troubled zones, especially as witnessed in the northeast and southeast. The acting IGP said members of the Special Intervention Squad will soon be deployed to the Abuja to Kaduna Highway where pockets of robbery attacks have been recorded in recent times. Ebetokun, who also urged officers and policemen to shun extortion, stated that the Almighty God himself does not like corruption. In his welcome address, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Udo Ounha, briefed the acting IGP on the internal security situation in the state. The National Assembly has commenced an investigation into the alleged gruesome murder of members of a vigilant group in Eke, Wudi local government by the men of the Nigerian Army. According to some reports, men from the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army allegedly opened fire on some members of the Eke vigilant group who were on their way to respond to a distress call in their community, killing 2 of them, including a woman, and inflicting gunshot injury on 3 others. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee, led by its chairman Sani Abdurrahim, who met with the Enugu State Deputy Governor Ifeanyi Osai, assured him of their resolve to uncover the truth and serve justice. They are in the state on a fact-finding mission to unravel the truth behind the unfortunate incident and bring the perpetrators to book. Their meeting with the Deputy Governor of the state is clear, and that is to commiserate with the government and to share the scope of the assignment with him. As residents await the outcome of the investigation, they will want to see the end of such assault from officers whose primary responsibility is to ensure the safety and security of Nigerians. You are listening to the news from the studio of Sawaba. Stay tuned for the rest. Welcome back. The National Working Committee (NWC) of the All Progressive Congress (APC) has announced the names of officers to fill vacant National Working Committee and zonal positions of the party. The National Secretary of the party, Ajibola Basiru, announced this on Wednesday evening during a media briefing on the outcome of the NWC meeting held at the APC National Secretariat. The outgoing National Deputy Chairman for North, Abubakar Kyari, was replaced by Borno Party Chairman Ali Deluri, while the outgoing National Women Leader Betta Edu was replaced by Mary Ali Dele from Edo State. Both Kyari and Edu were recently appointed minister by President Bola Tinubu. Edu was appointed Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, while Kyari was appointed Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. The Kaduna State Emergency Management Agency, (KATSEMA), has warned of an imminent flood in several local government areas of the state, with a call on residents of flood-prone areas to temporarily relocate to safer places. The new Executive Secretary of the agency, Usman Mazadu, who gave the warning shortly after taking over from his predecessor on Wednesday, listed the affected local government as Kaduna North, Kaduna South, Jema'a, Sanga, Igabi, Kagaruko, and Jaba. While addressing the media, the KATSEMA boss advised residents to desist from indiscriminate dumping of refuse and waste materials in waterways and drainages to avoid flooding during the rainy season. He also called on the residents to imbibe the habit of clearing gutters and drainages in their communities to guard against flood. According to him, the agency will in a few days come up with an action plan for the mitigation of any flood disasters that may occur in any part of Kaduna State. 37 persons were rescued, 2 others were injured, and many fell trapped when a building collapsed at Lagos Street in the Garki village area of Abuja. The Federal Emergency Management Agency (FEMA) spokesperson Nkechi Issa confirmed the incident early Thursday. According to her, the agency's search and rescue team is awaiting excavators to intensify the search and ensure no victim is left in the rubble. Last month, a 4-story building collapsed in the Life Camp area of the city with many wounded. It happened while workers were on the construction site in the Dape area near the Baga Clinic. Building collapse is a common occurrence in some Nigerian cities. Bad workmanship, low-quality materials, and corruption to bypass official oversight are often blamed for Nigerian building disasters. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa announced Thursday that the BRICS Club of Emerging Nations will admit 6 new members, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran at the start of the next year. Ramaphosa told a summit in Johannesburg that we have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of BRICS. Calls to enlarge the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa had dominated the agenda at its 3-day summit and exposed divisions among the bloc over the pace and criteria for admitting new members. Cyril Ramaphosa said, but the group, which makes decisions by consensus, had agreed on the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures of the BRICS expansion process. Nearly 24 countries have formally applied to join the club, which represents a quarter of the global economy and more than 3 billion people. Some 50 other heads of the state and government are attending the summit in Johannesburg, which concludes on Thursday. The United Nations Migration Agency says that more than 4 million Ethiopians are now displaced within the country, largely because of conflict or drought. The National Displacement Report, which covers the period between last November and June 2023, says 2/3 of them were forced from their homes by conflict. For the first time since 2021, the report includes the war-hit region of Tigray, which has Ethiopia's biggest population uprooted by war, more than 1 million people. The Somali region in eastern Ethiopia hosts the highest number displaced primarily by drought. Earlier, the United Nations said more than 20 million Ethiopians were in need of food assistance and $4 billion was required to meet their needs. That has been end of the news, but before I go, recap of the major story. You heard President Bola Tinubu will allocate funds for the construction of quality roads across the country. Kaduna State BRICS Club to admit 6 new members next year. On behalf of Department of News, our editor Haruna Ahmad Ultua, I am Khadija Nulam.